All right, now, Dave, I gave you a little bit of a heads up. I was talking last segment as well as on Sunday about a little idea I had. I know it's not going to happen. I wanted to get your thoughts on it. With the demise of the Sharks in this postseason, the thought of blowing the thing up or changing up the chemistry a little bit is on the minds of a lot of hockey observers. So I threw out the idea of the Sharks moving Joe Thornton, giving the C to Dan Boyle, and moving out that $7 million a year contract for 2 years in exchange for Thomas Plekanec and a second-round pick. Plekanec making $5 million a year for 4 years. He's a couple of years younger. He can play on the PK, speedier guy. Obviously, you lose a bit of scoring with Thornton, but maybe it frees up some money to go after some other guys. For the Canadians to get a big line center to play with Brian Gionta, it's only for 2 years. And Thornton is coming off 5 points against the Blues in the postseason, 17 points in 18 games last season in the playoffs. So maybe shedding that lack of production in the postseason label a little bit. And, oh, by the way, that face-off percentage, 61% against the Blues, whereas Plekanec is usually right around 49.9%. Your thoughts on my creative idea? Oh, no, he's starting off with a laugh. That's not good.
Great explanation.
Thank you.
Love it all. Makes sense, and I do understand from the San Jose side of things, Dan Boyle is the unofficial captain of that team anyway. But if you're the Montreal Canadiens right now and you're looking at your roster and you're looking at your positioning, there is a very good chance you are going to draft a big centerman third overall. And by all
but why rush him, though? Why rush him?
Well, you're not going to get anywhere next year with this roster and Thornton in for Plekanec anyway. As good as Max Pacioretty is, and congratulations to him for being nominated for the Masterton, one of the finalists. But with this core group, Joe Thornton's not going to be the savior. I'm sorry. They're going to be a playoff team next season, and probably will be have better shot with Thornton in the lineup instead of Plex. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at your roster and looking at what you have, and the potential that you have coming up, draft the kid. And I'm crossing my fingers, and if I'm a Habs fan, well, actually, which I am, but if I'm all Habs fans out there, Alex Galchenyuk, keep an eye on this kid, watch him. I can't wait to see him at the Combine in May. This is going to be a kid that, if the Canadians can get their hands on, is going to be an instant fan favorite. He is a great kid. He is an outgoing young man, and he's a funny guy. So he fits the mold, especially with the young core on this team, and I don't think he should be ready to hit the NHL next season unless he really performs exceedingly well, probably because he missed so much time this year.
So sorry to cut you off, Dave, give me your thoughts on this guy. Did you actually see him live or not this year, towards the end of the year when he came back? What did he do when he came back in your estimation? And if he isn't ready to be in the NHL next season, do you put him in the AHL or one more year in junior?
I did see him a couple of times towards the end of the season. I was actually fortunate enough to see him in practice before, as he was getting back to playing. This kid has magical hands. He's very creative with the puck. He's a big guy. He's going to get bigger. He's going to fill out even more. I'm very excited. If I'm any NHL scout and I have an opportunity to draft this kid, I'm very, very excited. I saw him in action. He's a very talented, very, very talented player. And I got so excited I completely forgot the rest of your question.
Wow. Have you bought the jersey yet? Jeez.
I will be the first one if it happens in Pittsburgh.
All right. Well, where do you see him next season?
Oh, right. There we go. Sorry. Yeah. I would probably, if I'm not confident enough that he can make an impact at the NHL level next season, which could be entirely possible. But if I'm not, OHL all the way. You want to give this kid the amount of ice time that he should get because of how much time he missed this year because of his injury. But at the same time, you have contractual obligations that could affect him as well. And at the same time, if for whatever the reason you rush him a little too soon and put him in the A against bigger boys, bigger adults, you might affect his confidence a little bit. I think 100%. If he's not going to be on your NHL roster next season, and this goes for any team that drafts him, if it doesn't happen to be Montreal, then you got to give him time in the OHL.
Chatting with Dave Pagnotta from the fourthperiod.com as we talk a little Canadians and NHL here. And so He's a funny guy, is he?
He is. He's going to be a very
nice compliment to PK, perhaps.
To PK, to Carey Price, who's a very quiet, more introverted comedian. But this is the core that the Canadians are building around right now. It's a very young core, and to implement a kid, whether it's Galchenyuk or not, but argument's sake, let's say it's him, to implement this kind of gentleman into this atmosphere, into a big market like Montreal, with the history, with the amount of, I'm going to say it, stupid amount of media that's out there, and the amount of attention that these guys get on a regular basis. He is a very mature player for a 17-year-old to be 18-year-old. And the fact that he has Igor Larionov as his agent is that much more complimentary to the kind of player this kid is going to evolve into. And like I said, if I'm the Habs, I think he's a perfect fit for this team. There are some good players that are coming up in the system and that are on this roster right now that complement him really well. I can't wait when Galchenyuk starts waking up in a few years and begins to hit his NHL potential. Him and Patches are going to be wonders together on the same line. They complement each other size-wise, skill-wise. Galchenyuk is going to be able to feed him this puck like nobody's business, and I just think it's going to be a great match for the Canadians if he is not taken second overall. But I think all indications are for Columbus. They're looking at Grigorenko.
Wow, interesting. That's an interesting one.
The only twist in all of this, and obviously I have not had a chance to see Filip Forsberg play over in Sweden.
Come on, Dave. I know you were in the KHL last year.
Yes.
Couldn't get over to Sweden?
I tried. The budget just couldn't handle it. But the Canadians, obviously with a bigger budget than I have, and probably with some better speaking, more affluent in the French language than most, can relay the message and indicate that if Filip Forsberg is better in their estimation as a big left winger, then they may consider him as an option. However, because of the need for the stability up the middle, I think you really can't go wrong. If Galchenyuk's there at number 3, the Habs are going to make a mistake if they don't pick him, I'm telling you.